What's going on, guys? Archer here, and this is going to be my countdown of the 10 most powerful Hunter x Hunter characters. Now, this is completely my opinion, so feel free to dispute my suggestions in the comments. If you wish you had Nen abilities, subscribe to NerdView and drop a comment letting everyone know what type of Nen user you think you'd be. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So coming in at the number 10 spot, we have Kurapika. Whilst he isn't physically that strong, he has a genius level IQ, and he uses this in battle to exploit the weaknesses of his opponents, giving him the upper hand. He's very analytical, and this always gives him an edge on his opponent. Beyond this, his conviction is so strong that his chain jail ability is strong enough to restrain even the most physically strong Troupe member, Uvogin. Kurapika's ultimate form, so to speak, Emperor Time, where his eyes turn scarlet, give him 100% of the range of all 5 Nen abilities, making him an incredibly formidable opponent, even if he can't use all his abilities against every opponent. Okay, so at number 9, here's a choice you might not have considered, Feitan. The second leg of the spider is subtly incredibly powerful. Don't be fooled by his small stature. He's incredibly skilled, he's very fast, and he's the 5th physically strongest member of the Phantom Troop. And when Chrollo left after losing his Nen abilities, Feitan became the new leader. His most powerful Nen ability, Painpacker and Rising Sun, is so strong that it has vaporized the new Chimera Ant Queen, and the entire Phantom Troop ran scared for their lives, hundreds of meters away, due to their recognition that being anywhere near Rising Sun is a death sentence. This implies Feitan could wipe out the entire Phantom Troop with one move, which makes him incredibly powerful and worthy of a slot on this list. Number 8, we have Neferpitou. Her physical abilities, like all the ants, are rather impressive, even without her steroid-like enhancing ability, Tepsicora, which extends her beyond her body's natural limitations. Netero uses one of his 100 hands to strike her, and Pitou is sent flying miles across the land, yet is simply unaffected in terms of injury. Not being damaged by Netero, who's one of the most powerful Nen users on the planet, is a strong testament of her power, meaning she belongs on this list. She also defeated Ging's disciple, Kite, in single combat, though he did already have one arm missing. Up next at number 7, things get a little bit messy here. I've put Zeno Zoldyck at number 7. He's the former head of the most powerful family in the Hunter x Hunter world, the Zoldicks, and he killed Chitu without breaking a sweat with a single strike. Netero personally requested Zeno's help for dealing with the Chimera Ants, showing the chairman recognizes him as a potent Nen user, although he is past his prime. And with him being past his prime, I've put Hisoka at the number 6 spot. Now, I'd love to rank Hisoka higher, but we just haven't seen him go all out yet. We saw him defeat Castro, a strong Nen user, at Heaven's Arena. We saw him defeat and kill the most powerful butler of the Zoldicks, Goto, in the final arc. And it's safe to say all of the Phantom Troop are cautious of him, at least, if not afraid. The issue here is, none of these opponents are strong enough to credit Hisoka as being that much more powerful. Yes, he beat them with ease somewhat, but the power differentials in the Hunter x Hunter world are exponential gaps. I've placed him this high based on his own confidence, in fact, since he wishes to fight Netero, who would probably waste him, and Chrollo Lucilfer, who would give him a very difficult battle. Just his confidence alone to fight those two opponents suggests he's gotta be up there. So the mess continues into 5th place, where I've put Silva Zoldyck. He's fought Chrollo in the past, and not lost, meaning he's at least above Feitan, and also Silva is the head of the Zoldyck family because he's the most powerful, placing him above Zeno. He is cut by Chrollo's dagger, which could poison and kill the strongest of men, yet Silva pulls out a strand of his hair, yes, his hair, and ties it around his arm and is seemingly unfazed by the poison. It's unclear if he's more or less powerful than Chrollo. We'd really have to see them fight 1v1 to decide that. Now, speaking of Chrollo, he takes the number 4th spot. Now, this is recognition of Chrollo being the leader of the Phantom Troop, meaning they all recognize his power, including Hisoka, who's at number 6. Chrollo fought both Zeno and Silva Zoldyck at the same time during the Yorknew arc, and although he definitely would have lost that as a 2v1, he was holding his own, which is just shockingly impressive. There's a very important line of dialogue from the anime we need to discuss here. Chrollo asks Zeno if they thought 1v1 who would win, and Zeno said he'd win no trouble unless Chrollo actually tried to kill Zeno, in which case it'd be completely different. In other words, Chrollo wasn't even going all out in the 2v1, meaning he could at least kill Zeno in the present timeline. So with that said, we've reached the top 3. This is the real big boy squad. The levels of power here are so over the top, there's no point even mentioning any other characters' names whilst talking about them. So Netero at number 3. In his prime, Netero was the most powerful user on the planet, and his 100 type ability is devastatingly powerful. He's the head of the Hunter Association for a reason, and one of the only characters who could realistically fight Meruem without dying instantly. He's also the fastest character in the Hunter x Hunter realm, which is a crazy thing to say considering Killua has an ability, Godspeed, which is purely for running quickly, whereas Netero just moves that fast as a baseline. But at well over 100 years old, Netero is no longer at his best, and said he's maybe in the top 5 Nen users in the Hunter x Hunter world. He doesn't specify who the other 4 are, and obviously we're already at number 3, so I haven't included all of them on this list, but I can have a guess at who 1 or 2 of them are. Which brings me to number 2, Ging Freecss. Now this is a weird one because Ging hasn't been in a single fight during the 148 episode run of the anime. However, incredibly strong characters have referred to Ging on several occasions, alluding to his power, and as weird and mysterious that he may be, Ging is presumably the most powerful Nen user on the planet, which should come as no surprise, considering to some extent Nen abilities are heritable, and Gon is ridiculously powerful at just 12 years old. So just imagine how strong Ging, a man in his prime, must be right now. Crazy, right? He's super intelligent, and his Nen abilities and skills are extremely advanced, making him the most powerful Nen user on the planet. Probably. I'm not sure about that, but I'm going with it. And at number 1, it's predictable, and that's because it's just so obvious. Meruem. The Chimera Ant King is about as overpowered as you could possibly imagine. He enjoys fighting Netero, who's going full out, exerting all of his Nen just to try and stay in the battle. Meruem's a brilliant tactician, and his baseline power is the greatest of any being ever in the Hunter x Hunter world. He doesn't even use Nen abilities specifically in battle. He just bounces around and slaps the shit out of Netero like it's nothing. It takes a mini Rose nuke to take him out, and even then, he wasn't completely dead. As far as the standard version of each character goes, in the anime at least, Meruem is the most powerful character in Hunter x Hunter. Okay, so time for a few disclaimers and special mentions. Aluka/Nanika Zoldyck. She has no physical strength, but Nanika's abilities are quite literally limitless, and she can kill anyone or anything just by thinking about it. That's unbelievably OP. Next, Adult Gon. Since that was only a brief period and a one-off, I didn't include Adult Gon on this list, but if I did, he'd easily reach the top 5. He literally one-punched Pitou effortlessly. Next, UP and Poof. Very powerful, but UP is an idiot, which hinders his performance in battle. And Poof isn't really a combat-based Nen user, even though he is very powerful in his own right. And next, Maha Zoldyck. He doesn't appear in the anime, and he's only really referenced in the manga, and isn't around in current times, so he can't be on the list, although he is considered to be as powerful as Prime Netero. Now that's all cleared up, thanks for watching, I've been Archer, subscribe to Nerdview, and I'll see you all again later this week.